Good morning and welcome to Bethany and everybody watching us on live stream. Please stand with us this morning as we start with Come Thou Fount, Come Thou King.
Come thou fount of every blessing, tune my heart to sing thy grace. Streams of mercy never ceasing, call for songs of loudest praise. Teach me some melodious sonnet, sung by flaming tongues above. Praise the mountain fixed upon it, unto thy redeeming love. I was lost in utter darkness, till you came and rescued me. I was bound by all my sin, when your love came and set me free. Now my soul can sing a new song, now my heart has found a home. Now your grace is always with me, and I'll never be alone. Come the fount, come the King, come the precious Prince of Peace. Hear your bride, to you we sing. Come thou fount of our blessing, come thou fount, come thou King, come thou precious Prince of Peace. Hear your bride, to you we sing. Come thou fount of our blessing. Oh, to grace how great a debtor daily I'm constrained to be. Let thy goodness like a fetter bind my wandering heart to thee. Prone to wander, Lord, I feel it, prone to leave the God I love. Here's my heart, Lord, take and seal it for thy courts above. Come thou fount, come thou King, come thou precious Prince of Peace. Hear your bride, to you we sing. Come thou fount of our blessing, come thou fount, come thou King, come thou precious Prince of Peace. Hear your bride, to you we sing. Come thou fount of our blessing, come thou fount, come thou King, come thou precious Prince of Peace. Hear your bride, to you we sing. Come thou fount of our blessing.
Thank you. You may be seated.
Good morning. I'm Pastor Joe. I'm so glad that you can be with us today. This morning, the live stream wasn't working. Our Wi-Fi wasn't working, but it is now, and I'm grateful for that, partially for how I changed the slides and all that, but I'm grateful that those that are online can watch that today as well. Well, we're going to be into a preparation to get us ready for Easter, to get us ready for Jesus' death, burial, and resurrection. I'm looking forward to this series that's on the last words of Jesus. But just a few words for you to know what's going on. We have an offering in the box, and you're invited to stop and give to that. And we remind you that it's by that gift. It is part of our worship. In the lobby, though, you'll also notice there's a display to my right as you walk out for a women's retreat at Four Springs. And it's not too late to sign up for that, but it's coming. The deadline is coming, so we invite you to stop by that soon, and you save a little bit of money by coming through Bethany. Bethany's got an arrangement to save a little bit of money, but that is coming up this week. So ladies, we invite you to stop by there and check that out to know more. And then something for you to be aware of. We've been sending out a few prayer requests over the last few weeks by email. We have an email prayer chain, and if you didn't get that, that means you're not on our list. Would you like those emails? If you would like that email, use the blue card in front of you, or there's a way to do that through texting. And so that's coming up. So with that said, I'm going to invite our, let's see. Oh, I'm looking at the right thing. Yes, I'm going to do a God at Work, but I'm going to do it a little bit later. I'm going to switch that up just a little bit. So worship team, come on up. We have a couple more songs we're going to sing in leading into worship.
This first song we're going to be singing is a new one, and it incorporates the hymn chorus of a hymn. And today, Pastor Joe is speaking about forgiveness. And as we learn this song, I pray that the words will speak to your hearts. This whole song reflects on Jesus' sacrifice so we could be forgiven and free. As verse 2, please stand as we begin to worship.
There is a song that calls to my soul. There is a lamb. Grace, grace, God's grace. Grace, grace, God's grace. Grace that will pardon and cleanse with His greater than all my sin. There is a hill where pardon was paid. There is a King who died in my place. Now I am alive, I am redeemed, out of the tomb just as I am. Grace, grace, God's grace. Grace that will pardon and cleanse within. Grace, grace, God's grace. Grace that is greater than all my sin. I'll fix my eyes on the cross forever. I'll put my hope in the love of my Savior. All of my sin and all of my shame is gone. Your grace is greater. I'll fix my eyes on the cross forever. I'll put my hope in the love of my Savior. All of my sin and all of my shame is gone. Your grace is greater. Your grace is greater. I come just as I am. I come just as I am. Grace, grace, God's grace. Grace that will pardon and cleanse within. Grace, grace, God's grace. Grace that is greater than all my sin. Grace, grace, God's grace. Grace that will pardon and cleanse within. Grace, grace, God's grace. Grace that is greater than all my sin. You give life, you are love, you bring light to the darkness, you give hope I could walk right through it. My fears were drowned in perfect love. You rescued me so I could stand and sing. I am a child of God. You split the sea so I could walk right through it. My fears were drowned in perfect love. You rescued me so I could stand and sing. I am a child of God. I am a child of God. I am a child of God.
Thank you. You may be seated.
All right, well, good morning. It's so good to see you here this morning. I want to take you back to what happened earlier this week. So, as you know, it was tragic what happened to Braden, and that was terrible. But through that, we had to do some things. So one of the things that happened is a request was put out to you to make cookies. And so you made cookies. You made a lot of cookies. A couple of things that happened to me because of that. I was like, where are we going to... So the kitchen got piled up. And I thought, how in the world are we going to use all these cookies? That's a lot of cookies. And the other thing was, man, those are good cookies. And they weren't for me. They were for other things. And so I'm like, oh, man, ready for whatever's going on. But the verse on Friday, this is a verse that was part. This wasn't the only This wasn't the only thing, but this is one of the verses that came on Friday, and I'll read this for you. But God knew what would happen, and His prearranged plan was carried out when Jesus was betrayed. With the help of law, nailed Him to a cross and killed Him. But God, it's twice in there. But God, and then but God. But God released Him from the horrors of death and raised Him back to life, for death could not keep Him in its grip. So everything about that whole story is just tragic. But God can use something for good out of it. And let me tell you something that was used for good. So the family asked me to give some words, and so I put together some words. But I can tell you right now, the prayers that people offered were what made the difference. Don't ever think that all you can do is pray. Prayer is the most important thing. Let's get that in the right order. Prayer is the most important thing, not something we do alongside. No, it's the most important thing. So your prayers were having an effect, and I'm getting ready to talk, and I got to the room, and if you've been to the Rothschild Pavilion, it's a pretty large building, and it was packed with people. So don't worry. Your cookies mostly went out the door. In fact, we used almost all of them that day. And so people through the day, and then when it came time for the service, it was just packed. Every seat was filled. There's standing people on the side. The balcony, if you've ever been in there, the balcony had people on it. It's just packed with people. And I was nervous because how do you know how to reach? How do you say or do these things? I don't know. But once I started talking, it seemed like some calmness came over me. So I'm grateful for your prayers again in that moment. So while I'm talking about this many rows, maybe those of you that are sitting in the back by the windows, about that far back, there was a person sitting there. And I've never met this person in my life. He had bald head and a bright red beard. And that's not bad or good. That's just what he looked like. So I'm talking, and I'm talking to everybody, but this guy's like really tracking with me. And I'm like, there's something going on here. I don't know what. So I shared a message of hope. So the message I tried to share is that hope is a really small, little thing, right? Hope is a small, little thing. If you tried to weigh hope on a scale, I don't think it would weigh anything. But if you've met a person that's lost hope, it's a problem. If you met a person with cancer without hope, it's really bad. If you've met a family going through struggles and trials, if they've lost hope, I don't know what you can do for that family. That family's in deep trouble if they lose hope. But if you have this much hope, even a little bit of hope, there's something there. So I shared that message, and I said the ultimate hope, of course, is What? It's in Jesus Christ, because you can't take that hope away. Everything else you might hope in, it could go away, but Jesus, you can't. So I shared the gospel through that, and then different things happened. Some students that were friends shared, and they were very good. And a baseball coach shared his words, and that was good. But then afterwards, I met Jasper. Jasper was the man that I met. I'd never met him before, and Dan. Now, Jasper knew Luke. He was Luke's buddy from the Marines. They'd served together, and they were in the worst of places. They were in Fallujah in Iraq. If you know anything about that conflict, that was like the worst of the worst. He said he should have died multiple times. IEDs, the bombs, everything. When he went through Fallujah and bad things happened, he was the one that somehow survived. Then he ended up in Afghanistan, and he served in special forces over there. And more bad things happened, but somehow he survived it all. And he said one of the worst things that happened, so one time he saved from death in Fallujah, saved from death in Afghanistan, and then another time he parachuted out of an airplane or a flying vehicle of some sort, and his parachute failed, and he landed, and he survived. Now, it caused great damage to his back. He's permanently disabled, but he's able to walk. And he said that's part of his story. Anyways, he's talking to me, and he starts just special forces, Marine, tough guy. He reminded me, you ever seen the mixed martial arts guy, Conor McGregor? That's what he reminded, if you know anything about MMA. Anyways, that's what he looked like to me, this guy. And with tears in his eyes, he talked about how that message of hope meant a lot to him. And what he heard that day was something he needed to hear. So we prayed together, Jasper and I. And I remember thinking as I stand here today, first of all, I think of but God. I think about God. God uses everything for good.